Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing everything that I got during the Sephora Spring Savings Event. I was able to go in store on the first day of the sale, which was so exciting. I rarely ever do that, and especially not like the first day of the sale. So I picked up a few things on my wish list and I got a couple of restocks as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so this first one is actually a repurchase. And I got this same exact kit during the last Sephora Spring Savings Event, so in early 2024, but I used up every single item in here and I really enjoyed every single product. So this is the Amika Rescue Team and this comes with 4 different minis. I was actually kind of surprised that this one was still available. I thought it was going to be a limited edition kit, but I was able to get it at Sephora inside Kohl's. Even though I usually stick to drugstore hair care products, these are some of the few high-end ones that I actually think are worth the money, so I wanted to have these back in my shower. So this is the Cure Strength Repair Shampoo. This one lathers really nicely. It leaves my hair really soft, and I love the conditioner as well. I actually think I like this one even more than the Strength Repair Mask. This one is really nice as well, but I almost feel like the conditioner is even more softening. I don't know if that's just in my head, but I remember liking the conditioner a little bit more than the mask, but I also really like this one. And the Wizard Silicone-Free Detangling Primer. This one leaves my hair really nice and shiny, and it detangles. It prepares it for any sort of heat that I use. So I wanted to have this one back on rotation, even though I do love my Pantene one. But these are just really solid high-end hair care products, and I definitely think they're worth the money. So that was all that I got as far as non-makeup items. So let's move on to the makeup that I purchased. I was so torn whether I should get this product or not because I've seen some mixed reviews on it, but I have seen a lot of hype, so I wanted to test it for myself. This is the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Contour, and I got this one in the shade Mellow, which isn't exactly a contour shade, I would say. This is more of a bronzer on me, which I actually really like. I didn't want anything too cool tone because realistically, I don't really contour. I usually like to bronze / sculpt, so kind of like 2-in-1. But I really enjoyed this one today. I did try it for the first time. You do get a ton of product in here. This one is definitely bigger than these Soft Pinch liquid blushes. Let me get the full size that I have just so I can show you how they compare. Okay, you definitely get a lot more product with the liquid contour, which I actually appreciate because the liquid contour isn't as pigmented as the liquid blushes. Just from trying it today for the first time, I noticed that I can use a little bit more of this and it doesn't look as pigmented and it blends out really nicely. I really enjoyed this one today, but again, this was my first impression, so I'm gonna keep testing this one, but so far I really like it. I did pick up 2 powder blushes, and actually one of these is not technically a powder. It's kind of like a putty powder hybrid, but this is the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Matte Bouncy Blush, and I got this one in the shade Worth. I know I tried it for the first time today, but I am so impressed with this blush formula. It is a stiffer putty type of texture, but I didn't find it difficult to pick up on a brush, and I actually ended up using the Rare Beauty, I think this is called the Blush Brush. I picked this one up during one of the sales last year, and this one worked really nicely with this blush. Because it is a stiffer brush, I felt like this picked it up really easily. I didn't want to use anything too fluffy because I felt like it wouldn't really pick up the product, but this blush brush applied it perfectly. It looks really seamless on the cheeks, and I feel like this formula is very forgiving. So if you have any sort of texture, I don't feel like this formula is gonna emphasize anything because it is a matte finish, but it still looks like it has some life to it. It doesn't look super matte on the skin. It just looks really smooth, very seamless. I just really like it so far. I know I only tried it once, but I do want to pick up the shade Hope, which I'm pretty sure is a nude mauve shade. So I might pick it up before the end of the sale, but I'm still kind of debating it because I really don't need any more blushes, but I'm just really tempted to try that shade. So let me know if you guys have tried this blush formula. I can't even talk. And if you've tried it, let me know what shades you really like. And then the other blush that I got is the Kosas Blushes Life Baked Dimensional Plus Brightening Blush. And I got this one in the shade Dreamland, which is a rosy bronze. I don't think I've ever tried any other cheek products from Kosas, so this is my first blush from the brand. I do have it over top of the Rare Beauty blush, and I'm gonna play around with it and apply it just on its own, which I haven't tried yet. But this one I thought looked very pretty over top of the Rare Beauty one. It gave a really pretty glow to the cheeks. And this rosy bronzy shade is super pretty. It is a baked formula, so it's not quite as easy to pick up on a brush. I feel like I really had to dip my brush in there a few times to really get enough pigment, but I really love the glow from this blush. It doesn't look like a highlighter, but it just gives a really pretty sheen. So yeah, I'll keep testing this one, but so far so good. This palette has been on my wish list since I first released it, and I held off even though I did want to purchase it immediately, but I'm glad that I did so I could get a discount. But this is the Natasha Denona Bloom Eyeshadow Palette. I'm so glad that I picked this one up. I don't know why I was so hesitant. I think because I was a little bit disappointed in the warm eyeshadow palette, or the I Need a Warm palette. I think that's what it's called. I just wasn't really impressed with a lot of the shimmers in there. And just in general, I didn't really care for the color story, which I was actually very surprised about because I do love warm eyeshadows and I love Natasha Denona's formula. So I kind of hesitated because of that. But I'm so glad that I picked this one up, and I think because I did see it in store, I liked it even more than the way that it looked in pictures. So I do have this one on my eyes today. I have everything that I purchased on my face, and this is such a stunning palette. I honestly have no complaints about this one so far. I haven't tried every single shade yet, but I did try quite a few of them for today's look. I wanted to use as many shades as possible. The mattes in here are super buttery and smooth, and they're really pigmented as well. And all the shimmers in here are super smooth as well. But I think this is such a pretty color story. I think this one is going to be perfect for spring. These are the kind of tones that I love reaching for during the spring. You not only get some warmer toned eyeshadows in here, but I love that you get some mauvey tones. So I feel like this one has everything that I like as far as an eyeshadow palette. And yeah, I am gonna get a ton of use out of this one. I just know it. But this packaging I think is so pretty. This looks very much like a spring palette. And I'm pretty sure Natasha Denona designed this one herself. I think I did see in a video when they released this palette that she was designing the front of this. And I think she was painting it actually. So I think it's very pretty, and I think it looks even prettier in person. I finally picked up one of these Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balms, and I decided to get the iced coffee scent. I love iced coffee, so I figured I couldn't go wrong with this scent. I did think it was gonna have a little bit more pigment, so I guess that's like my only con about this product so far. I do wish I had just a little bit more pigment to it, but it is very nourishing and moisturizing on the lips. I do really like the texture of this so far, and it does smell amazing. I was not disappointed in this coffee scent. I have been disappointed with other coffee scented products in the past, like especially beauty products. They usually smell a little bit weird and artificial, but this one to me smells straight up like an iced caramel latte. And that is one of my go-to drinks that I do make at home. I really like the applicator as well because it does have a bit of a dip in the middle. So it does hug the lips really nicely as you're applying it. But I am impressed so far. I do get the hype, but I am gonna keep using it. The only thing, again, that I will say is that I do wish it had a little bit more pigment. I don't know how pigmented some of the other shades are, but this one is pretty sheer. And then the last product that I got is this one from Merit. This is one of their new signature lip sheer lip liners, and I got this one in the shade Bespoke, which is a pinky brown. I really like this shade, And I thought it was going to be a little bit too cool tone for this look, especially paired with this eyeshadow look, but I thought it paired really nicely. I did pair it with the Merit lipstick. This is the Signature Lip Lightweight Lipstick in the shade Slip. I think it looks really nice with this lip liner. This is a peachy nude shade, and this one is definitely one of my most used lipsticks in my entire lipstick collection. And I think it pairs really nicely with the lip liner because they do have a similar satin finish, and they are both sheer but buildable, so I think they pair perfectly because of that. This lip liner does have some slip to it, so it did glide on really easily. It didn't tug at all, so I feel like this one is going to be very flattering on most people, and especially for an everyday look or just something more natural. This kind of formula I think is going to be perfect for that. So I am going to keep playing around with this one. I'm going to try pairing it with other lipsticks, especially more matte ones, just to see if they complement each other. I'm curious to see how this one is gonna wear. I've had it on for about an hour to an hour and a half at this point, so I'm gonna have to see how long it actually stays on my lips. So that is everything that I picked up during the Sephora Spring Savings Event. I do want to pick up a couple more things, but I'm holding off. I'm gonna give it a couple more days to really think it through. But if I do decide to purchase a couple more things, these are the things that I have my eye on. The Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil Extreme Waterproof Lip Liner. I already have a few shades of the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencils. I've really been enjoying the shade Wherever Walnut. It's definitely been one of my most used lip liner shades lately, so I want to try the Extreme Waterproof version of that shade. So I do have my eye on that one. Let me know if you guys have tried it and if you like it. I did run out of my Oribe Heat Protectant recently, so I'm not sure if I want to repurchase that one because I do really like it, but I feel like it's going to be a little bit too greasy for my hair, especially with the warmer months coming up, and it is already pretty warm in Georgia. So I'm curious to try the Living Proof Perfect Hair Day Heat Styling Spray. That one doesn't seem to have any oils in it, whereas the Oribe one does have quite a few oils in the formula, so I want to see if this one works a little bit better for my hair. So let me know if you guys have tried that one as well, because it is $32, but definitely cheaper than the Oribe one. And the last thing that I'm really tempted to pick up is, of course, another blush, the Tower 28 GetSet Blur Plus Set Matte Powder Blush. And I really want to try the shade Long Beach Iced Tea. It's described as an earthy rosy pink. So this one is supposed to have a matte finish, and I've heard that they're very pigmented as well. So I am kind of in between with this one. I do really want to try it, especially because this one has an actual matte finish, and a lot of the blushes in my collection have more of a satin finish. I usually tend to go for glowy blushes. So as far as an actual matte blush, I feel like this one is going to be interesting to try, and especially the shade Long Beach Iced Tea. That shade looks so pretty. I also really like the shade Samo Spritzer, and that one is a rosy mauve. But in the description, it says that it's a first ever setting blush, combining the benefits of a setting powder with a richly pigmented blush for 12-hour fade-proof color and blurred skin. So it's matte, highly pigmented, and it blurs your skin, which it does sound like I'm really gonna like it. But of course, I don't need any more blushes. I'm just really curious about this formula, and I don't think I've tried any blushes from Tower 28. I've tried their Sculptino, but I haven't tried any of their blushes. So yeah, I might hold off. I don't know if I'm gonna purchase all of the things that I talked about. I think it's 3. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you're picking up anything during the sale or if you already did. I hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.